If I knew exactly where the market was headed, I would be retired already. But I can, at least from my perspective, say it's probably going to push people to self host a little bit more. A lot of the data stack is already open source,
Yep.
right? That's the truth of it. And like, this company is one of my first times really just doing everything end to end in the cloud or GCP shop. I should have put that in a different category. When you can build an entire application with Google, that was already true. That's a little bit different than like the snowflakes of the world consolidating things. I think, to get to the other part of your question, like what about these sort of niche, sort of vibe coded micro SaaS, whatever you
Yep.
want to call it? I don't see that really necessarily replacing the core data stack. I mean, I think you're still going to have your DBTs and your BigQueries and whatnot. But I think at the analytics end, that's a really interesting thing that might start to affect the market is analytics tools that are more niche for a given vertical or industry. To all these conversations we've had around defining metrics, having the right metrics, if you're in an industry where every company should have the same metrics, there could be a tool that, and this is kind of at Zeta, we've dabbled in this. We have a revenue analytics module for subscription analytics, right? You could have like a really niche tool that does all the right analytics for you, but it's still hard to generalize even within one vertical. I'm a little skeptical that that's going to take off, but I see the potential for it, that someone who just really knows an industry and really is good at data can make a tool that will, for the 10 companies in that vertical, does exactly what they need to do, because it's easier to code and deploy that sort of thing these days.
Or a company like you will go and partner with those tools that knows something really
Yeah,
specific about
I
an
mean, like I said,
industry.
we dabbled in this sort of thing, and that's something that we're open to as we bring on more clients to say, hey, if we see these commonalities, it's called a module for a reason, right? We can make a ton of revenue at like different modules for different businesses.
Yep.
But, I think our experience so far is that you still have to kind of tweak and customize those modules. Like, I'll give an example of like Stripe. A lot of people use Stripe. The same data always comes out of it, but if you are a Stripe practitioner, and this is my first time being like an actual Stripe user, there's so many different ways you can set it up. You can make mistakes. It gets really complicated really fast. And so even for like two businesses that are subscription SaaS businesses, they might be using Stripe in a totally different way. That means that you have to model the data coming out in a different way. And it makes that harder than you would initially think.
That makes sense. The last thing I have before we go to the fun part of kudos is obviously people are very worried about data security anytime they're putting their data in any platform. And so I'm curious to hear a little bit about how Zeta has handled ensuring data is compliant and secure for your customers.